In this episode, it's high season for conventions and it shows in the amount raised for charity worldwide this month. Learning about neurodiversity through cute animations and a wonderful interview with how the fandom changed an inspiring cartoonist. But first, the latest charity news from the fandom this September edition of Digging Up Positivity. This video we're starting out in Austria, where the lovely critters from Awoostria raised a wonderful $6,432.82 for the Österreichischer Tierschutzverein, an organization founded in 1899, pioneering the welfare of Austrian wildlife and still going strong till this very day. In the US, we have DenFur, where 3,623 attendees managed to raise $15,681 for Almost Home, a cage-free rescue and adopt center dedicated to finding our feline friends a new forever home. Our trans friends from digital Villainy Summit banded together and raised $20,000.69 for the Transgender Education Network Texas during their online convention for kinky supervillains. And at FursonaCon, they raised $23,000 for Second Chance Wildlife, dedicated to provide emergency and long-term care for the injured, ill and orphaned wild animals. At Megaplex, our fuzzy and scaly friends managed to raise $81,000 for the Sarasota Street Dog Coalition, helping them provide free preventative care and related services to pets of people experiencing homelessness or who are at severe risk of becoming homeless. 774 awesome fluffy friends at Mephit Furmeet managed to raise $15,000 for their two charities, the Mississippi Wildlife Rehabilitation and Tiger Haven. And during Tales and Tornadoes, 1,353 attendees banded together to raise $11,356.33 for the Animal Rescue Foundation Bartleville. The Rhode Island Furs are at it again with Paws in the Park, where they helped raising $6,783 for the Rhode Island Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Beaten Raccoon took part with this year's Out of the Darkness walk for awareness for those who wish to end themselves, contributing $300 to the cause. Jakadima is a really awesome animator. He wanted to make a little video with a piece of music that is so much part of internet lore. The Nut Eek! Well, I'm using a different name. It's called a little bit different, but you know, YouTube is weird like that. However, when he uploaded it, he got copyright struck. Turned out that someone was copyright claiming this catchy song instead of the original author, because back then they did not upload it to YouTube. It took quite some back and forth, but the original author, Sirasu, managed to get through. So far, the videos regarding this example of blatant abuse have a very important cause attached to them, raising money for the urgent relief for Palestine. Jacademia has raised $160 so far by the making of this video, and I hope it becomes much more. It sure has been a busy month, and if you have any other wonderful causes that our fellow furries are raising money for, please do let me know in the forum below, or leave a comment. I would love to cover them. Which brings us to the total covered by us so far, $1,449,650.23. The full numbers will be released in a neat little video at the end of the year, where we are already working on, and I might actually show a little teaser next month. Stay tuned till December. I am so looking forward to this. While the bean counters are working overtime at Eurofrance, several fursuiters are reported to have been attacked by the dastardly slice of cheese. Inspired by the often viral amusing response by regular critters by the cheese slice, I found this particularly hilarious. These days you hear a lot of conditions like BPD, dyscalculia, ADHD and so on. All those letters and names can quickly become overwhelming. The channel Pixie Gags saw this and decided to make a series of short videos about a bunch of cats explaining each and every condition in a very simple and easy to understand way. I found them quite informative and fun to watch. Perfect to explain a neurological condition to your friend, loved one, or in general, like dyscalculia, on how they can solve mathematical problems just as well, but in a different way. It looks like we're in a new era of independent animation, ushered in by the likes of Has-Been Hotel, breaking the ceiling, shattering all expectations. Alice Mark worked hard on the pilot of Catching Up, about a cat and a mouse struggling to fit in. The pilot was quite a success, raking in 1 million views in less than 6 days, prompting the Kickstarter for episode 2. The pilot starts out a little bit slow, but the story gains speed over time. And so does the humor. I love the animation, reminding me of the 90s era of animation, which is quite a good thing. Go check it out. This time, with Digging Up Positivity, we have a very special guest from the Netherlands, a comic artist known as Georgi Husky. Welcome to the show.
Hi Tabo. Thanks for inviting me. I'm a comic artist. I graduated back in 2017. Therefore, I was busy with being a furry artist. At the academy, I mostly told autobiographical stories where I take myself as the center of the stories. Because of my autism, I think I can give other sort of perspective about subjects or topics dealing with life. That became the basic for my big graduation project, which was a 24-page comic story about the period after the art academy. What will happen then? Like a whole structure will suddenly fall, of course, or be gone. Like, oh yeah, you don't have lessons to get no more. You won't be talking daily about art. Through that comic, I was figuring out, perhaps sketching like a future scene about how could it be, and give some sort of comfort, finding new interactions with other people, keeping close relations with friends.
Yeah, getting those life goals done.
Yeah, exactly. And that also translated a bit to my Georgi comic, which is a 4-page comic I made for a collective I'm part of, which are former art students I know of my years at the art academy. I followed an education called comic design. It's the only university in the whole Netherlands that is dedicated about learning and telling stories through the medium of comic or graphic novels. And so there came an opportunity for that collective, for our second edition, to tell a story about something you hold dear. What I saw in that subject was like, oh, a drawing with a memory or a emotional connection. And so I thought of that original drawing Pooney handed me all those years ago as a gift and made me aware of the fandom. So I translate that moment, that feeling, into that story. It was being published by them, by the collective, but I also made a little small print of the story by itself, with some extra illustrations, a bit more insight of what the story is about. And that's the one I've been selling since 2022. And that's also the one I gifted you at Dutch Fur Con.
Yes. I was so happy with that. You even made a cute little drawing in it of yourself wearing Tabo because, well, you were actually walking around this Tabo during the fur walk there. For the viewers amongst us, I had to basically fly around with a drone, and flying around with a drone, navigating that is very difficult to do in Fursuit, so you were Tabo, as recommended by Tani the Lynx, a mutual friend of ours. And I must admit, it was certainly worth it. It was great to see myself bouncing around like what you did.
I loved every minute of it. It was incredible to finally experience wearing a suit. I always imagined, like, how could it be? Like, how would the vision be from in the suit, or how heavy could the suit be? But despite all those imaginings in my head, like, oh, how could it be? Like, I finally was doing it and enjoying it very much.
You got lucky because you got recommended by someone I trust very much. Not many people get to wear someone else's fursuit that easily, but you were in the right spot at the right time.
I couldn't be happier that it was the right spot at the right time.
How did you find the furry fandom?
Back at my first education, when I trying to pursue into art after high school, was like 16 years old. That was like the first environment where I was like with all sort of kind of creative people with all sort of interests and hobbies. And that's where I met a dear friend of mine called Booney, who introduced me to the fandom because she was making furry artwork. And that's the way how I got introduced by it. Because I wasn't aware of it. Like, it was very fun to see at the time. Like, oh, this exists.
How long are you in the fandom?
I started that education at 2008.
You're already around for quite a while. Do you have any favorite moments that stay with you?
Well, one is very recently when I attended my first FurryCon back in August.
Which convention was that?
Dutch FurCon, edition 9.
Could you tell us a little bit about that convention?
100 plus people, attendees, were together at a location in Groesbeek in the south of the Netherlands.
Oh.
And during that weekend, we did a lot of activities and there were workshops planned. I was even invited to the dealer's den, to my surprise. And that's where I first showcased my furry comic. But for years I sold it at comic conventions or festivals, and sometimes there was like a furry spotted and I interacted with. But now there was like a big con, like many people who can enjoy my story and know about me.
And with that, with you sharing your little story on how you got into the fandom, I would like to thank you for taking your time to share your little story with us. I hope to see you more often on conventions.
Yeah, that would be great.
Such a wonderful interview, but the fandom has changed the hearts of many. Next month we will have a well-known rat from Ireland about her journey. She is also the big mind behind Intro Air herself, Labrat. But until then, you can find me drawing pretty much every Monday on Twitch and on this very channel. I am ever so grateful that I'm able to do what I do thanks to all these amazing supporters. On Subscribestar we have Manic, Cosmic with a K, Taros and Hanzana. And on YouTube we have the following members: Joe and Mavi, Lorek Bernison 086, Longtooth and Whiffer. On Patreon we have Tantru McNally, Ishnula and Els Dekkers. And not to say the least, we have our Twitch subscribers: Tani Draw, Voltrot, Rocky Icy Meerkat, Jake RG, Lady Lian, Light Nympha, Lighty417, Evolver TV, The Gentle Jester, Swagsty Mischievous Fox, Dr. Ben Ben, Tratron the Dragon, Hansana Janssen, Yabuyin, We Are Ixim, Tommy Wolf 210, Koda the Wolffox 17, Maarten Man 1, Valconeo, Droan the Star Bear, Rogebre, Duali, and Coconut Cat 260. But besides that, there are plenty of other ways to support me, ranging from a simple share, a like or subscribe to my channel, or to buy something from my artwork tea store. The next episode of Digging Up Positivity will be on October 26th. Hope to see you there. Stay awesome and all the hugs.